Welcome to University Centre Peterborough Career Possibilities module. In this module, we're going to explore how you can examine your career opportunities, which possibilities could your career take, and how to look at market intelligence to identify which way you may want to go. These are the areas we'll cover during this module, including Masters and Doctoral Studies, and also having the opportunity to go self-employed or freelance. When it comes to thinking about your career, the sooner the better. We know that many of you are worried about what to do to explore your career. So what we've done is designed a program that will help you examine career possibilities. Initially, we highlight that you want to work out what motivates you, what are your likes and dislikes, what are your skill sets. For this, we'd recommend the Who Am I module and the Workplace Skills module. From this, you'll have a deeper understanding of what suits you. Then you can identify what it is you might want to do. Where could your skills take you? The other thing you may need to consider is, where do you want to be based? Do you want to be local or do you want to be abroad? What type of hours do you want to work? Do you want to be flexible? Do you need to work from home because of childcare? So there's lots of different things that could happen. Being worried or fearful about making the wrong decision about your career is normal. Rather than thinking of this as a long-term plan, instead think of it as 3-year chunks. What are you going to do for the following 3 years when you have left university? This is a journey, not a race. Take your time, keep it in perspective, and trust your gut instinct. There are different types of employment, and you'll want to explore each to see what would suit you. The traditional career option is where you do one thing for one company. A portfolio career means that you will do different things for different employers, and this means you can spread the risk of redundancy. It can also provide a work-life balance. Freelancing is a self-employed person who offers services to clients, often to multiple clients at the same time. Self-employed means you've owned your own business and you're providing a goods or a service. A fixed term contract or a set contract is where you'll provide a service over a fixed period of time. A commission is where you agree a fee for a service and receive it when it's completed. An entrepreneur is somebody who organises a business or invests significant finances in another business. If you're thinking of setting up your own business, there are numerous great free resources available, and these are available through Canvas site and the PDF. Once you've explored your personality type and assessed what your skills and strengths are, you can start to consider the roles that may be appropriate for you. Exploring what roles will suit you is the easiest through a number of online tests, and what you may find is certain jobs or career types keep reoccurring. Now, some of the tests that we provide are based outside of the UK, so just be mindful when you're engaging with these. But we have provided in the Canvas course ideas for completing a career planner match, ways of looking at a job match, mechanisms for looking through job profiles by sector, browsing job profiles by a role title, and also simply exploring where can your degree take you. By exploring graduate jobs, you can gain an idea of where a career might lie and what might interest you. By using LinkedIn or Prospects or Indeed, you can start to see what jobs are most frequently coming up. In addition, if you use the job section on LinkedIn, you can also then find people that are based within that company or within that job role and see if you can identify somebody that could help you with your career, such as working as a mentor or providing work experience. Don't forget that the UCP LinkedIn site once a week will include graduate roles. So by going through these while you're an undergraduate, you get a feel for what roles are out there and what skills are being required. Labour Market Intelligence, or LMI, focuses you to allow you to gain a clear picture of your chosen career and how that sectoral field is developing. For example, you can look at the growth areas in Peterborough, which tend to be things like engineering, manufacturing, agri-tech, food and drink, digital and creative, energy and the environment, and the financial services. Growth areas for Cambridgeshire currently are life sciences, bioscience, software development, and the gaming industry. You can start to look at who the largest employers are in Peterborough. So these could include BGL, think of the Meerkats or Go Compare, Coloplast, who provide medical equipment, Bauer Media, who look at online and physical magazines, Ideal Shopping Direct, and Perkins Engines. The largest employers in Cambridgeshire are AstraZeneca, who look at pharmaceuticals and biotechs, Marshalls of Cambridge for air and defence, Hilton Food Group for food production and manufacturing, again the BGL Group, and the Gees Group Holdings looking at food production and manufacturing. We also in Peterborough have a significant number of business startups. And recent companies include Reuse, Solar Polar, ABAX, Flowmec, Marmalade. So we've got about 40,000 active businesses currently based in Peterborough for business startups. We also want to consider where the emerging businesses are. So over the next 10 years, we know we're going to see an increase in cybersecurity and software development. The nursing and the care industry is going to explode. Logistics and supply chain management will demand an increase. We also know that analysing data and data analysts are of significant requirement increase. Online shopping and food technology, pilots, teachers, accountants and engineers. These are just some of the areas over the next 10 years that are seeing a significant increase or growth area. There are ways that you can examine labour market intelligence, and if you go through the Canvas page in the PDF, you'll see the variety of websites that you can access for this information. You need to keep an eye on labour market intelligence. It's part of your commercial awareness, and this way at interview and after, while you're exploring your career, you can examine and answer how your sector will be developing shortly. Another area you will want to consider is what type of organisation do you want to work for? What size is the organisation, or are you going to be self-employed or freelancing? Do you want to work for a profit or non-profit organisation, locally, nationally or internationally? Consider what type of role you will want to go into. Do you want to go into management straight away, or would you prefer to have experience elsewhere to develop your management skills? Do you want to manage people or projects or finances or services? What activities should this role include and not include? What do you want the role to require? What does it need to ask of you? What skills, knowledge and behaviours should you provide it? What qualifications does it want? What type of people do you want to work with? What's the culture that you're expecting to see? What kind of customers do you want them to have? What kind of manager do you want? And what kind of people do you want to manage? Consider the location, where it will have its national or international base, and whether or not you will have local, national or international travel. What type of employment it might be, whether it's permanent, flexible, temporary, such as through a consultancy or agency. Are you going to be an entrepreneur or freelancer? And what values does the company stand by? What do they stand for? Terms of employment are also worth considering. What salary are you willing to start with? Bearing in mind you might need to take a lower salary to get a foot in the door. What working hours do you want to do? What healthcare and pension do you want to consider? There are quizzes that will allow you to look at what motivates you at work and what type of culture you prefer. The idea of studying a master's degree can be very exciting, and it could progress your career or allow you to move on to do a PhD. It could also be that you're doing this purely for personal interest, but whatever the reason is, it needs to be a solid reason. Some roles do not require a master's or a PhD, and some will do. So make sure if you're doing this for career progression that you're choosing the right next career qualification that suits that career progression. Many masters can be conducted whilst you are in full-time employment. It might be that your employer will actually look at sponsoring this. So you may want to consider part of your career progression is, are you working with a company that would look at providing you with the time or the finances to gain a master's. The same with your doctoral degree. A doctorate could include a master's degree as well, and there are numerous different types depending on what sector you're working in. You can do a master's or a doctoral degree part-time or full-time, and there are a variety of ways you can do it, whether or not that's actually physically going to a university or doing it online. There's lots of information on the Canvas page and in the PDF to give you extra guides over how to go about it, where your masters could take you, and how to find a master's or a doctorate for you to complete. Just a final thought here so that you do not get too worried about your career. You are a miracle. You should live your life to the fullest and have the courage to follow whatever you wish to do. You might want to consider a bucket list, and a bucket list is everything you want to do, potentially, before you kick the bucket. What you might want to do is look at this for every 10 years of your life. So, for example, what is it you want to achieve before you hit the age of 25? And then what do you want to achieve before your age of 35? And these can include activities, skills, places you'd like to visit, things you'd like to have or own, achievements, the type of job or career you might want to do, or the people you might want to meet. And there's lots of different ideas out there on the internet. But live life to your fullest. And one of the ways to do this is ask yourself, what 5 things would you want to achieve if money was no object? Or if here on in everything was really easy for you to do? Or if you had 3 wishes? Or everything here on in you were prepared to try. What would it be that you'd want to try? At 90 years old, if you looked back, what would you want to say you achieved? And sometimes this can give you an idea of how to frame your career. So within this module, we'll provide you with the career possibility skills, mechanisms by which you can explore where you want to go, and also how to examine market intelligence to help inform you with your career choices. If you're a University Centre Peterborough student, staff member or alumni, you can contact the Employer Hub at peterborough.ac.uk for further support or information.